What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna get up close and personal with our very popular CRF450RL Trike conversion kit. So I've got all the parts laid out on the table right now. Let's take a deep dive. I'm gonna explain what each part does. All right guys, now as you know, when you're converting your dirt bike to a three-wheeler, there's a lot of bits and bobs that go along with this. So if you take a look right here, go along with this. So if you take a look right here, we've got everything bagged up. Now over the last many years of doing this, we've been trying to improve our process. So we've actually come up with a nice little setup sheet. So we've got pictures. Everybody likes picture books. Part numbers if you guys ever lose something. So as we're shipping these parts out to you guys, we generally do a check mark next to these with all the quantities. More or less just gives you a rundown of all the bits and bobs. Now this is just for the subframe. So electrical bracket, just for an example, this is the ECU bracket. Now this holds the ECU behind your gas tank. I've got that right there. And all the hardware. We have added in the taillight hardware. So this stuff goes in the back of the subframe. Now on the back of the CRF450RL, we actually use the OEM taillight bracket, which is really nice. Aluminum and plastic. It actually kind of hugs around this this PVC bracket right here that we put on here. And this is just for the RL. The CRF450R subframe is very similar, but it does not have this because it does not have a taillight. Now there is a couple different features on this subframe. Being it's the RL, you've got a single exhaust bracket on this side, so you're going to actually not have it on this side like the R. You're going to actually have your voltage regulator mounted on the outside. We've added some electrical bracket mounts here, so all the stock rubber grommets, they all just slide up in there. And of course, you've got to put your battery somewhere. So we make a nice fabricated battery box. That just gets bolted just like this. Nice little battery strap right there. Now, when you convert these over, you can no longer use your stock intake. So we've come up with a revised, I'd say version 3 intake. So this is carbon fiber reinforced, 3D printing most of our intakes now. It's a way better piece than what we used to do with the welded stuff. We've actually increased performance by doing this. We've actually done some reliefs to clear the frame. We've got some proper mounts now for the intake sensor, and actually got a nice little lip on there so it actually stays in the boot. So we've got that on both ends. This will actually hold your air filter. Again, there's a little lip right there. So once the filter pops on, you've got it clamped. It's not going anywhere. Now this is actually going to go just like this underneath the intake hanger bracket. And again, I'm going to insert some clips for you guys of what it actually looks like on the bike. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys some updates. We've done many updates on our kits, right from the intakes to just the way we package stuff, the way we do our setup sheets. So everything's getting better with time, which is nice. Now, you've all seen our swing arms, but let's just talk about it just for the heck of it. Nothing too crazy going on here. We've double walled this cross tube. We've actually added some additional bracing. So we're trying to add a little bit of strength up here. This is about version 4 of what we're doing with these swing arms. So we're just trying to improve as we go. Now these are still running the TRX450R carrier, brakes, axle, hubs, all that fun stuff. And again, CRF pivot in the front. So this is going to use the all balls kit. So it comes with everything. Now, if you choose on the website to select for us putting the bearings in, we can do that. If you want to save money, we can leave the bearings out if you are competent on putting your own bearings in. Believe it or not, many guys don't know how to put pivot bearings in, and that's fine. We're more than happy to do it. But I do have some instructional videos if you want to be a little bit more DIY with your kit. I have videos on how to put these in, so I'll put a link in the description for that. Other than that, guys, it comes completely powder coated. Got some nice decals on here. Of course, we've got the linkage mount on the bottom. So we supply a bolt on the Honda kits. We've got a heavy duty bolt right there. Now this is something else that we machine in-house. These are our front chain blocks. So you simply just slide on the front. I've actually tightened up the tolerance on these. We've got rid of the bolt that used to be on there. We're just trying to clean these up as much as possible. I believe these are made by UPP, so we're still using these guys for the rear guide. I'm Kind of tired of looking at these though. They're getting a little ugly. Not real happy with the finish on that. So we may have to start making these in the future too, but for now we're still using an aftermarket company for that. Of course, we've got the pinch bolts for the back of your carrier. These are the 2 bolts that go on the side. And if you need it, a brake line. All right, what else we got? Foot pegs. Let's talk about foot pegs. All right, guys, got some nice foot pegs right here. Big improvements on these from the ones in the past. These are now laser cut. The teeth are sharper, they're flatter, they're straighter, they're more beautiful in general. The text looks better. The pivots are also laser cut, so the holes are not an egg shape anymore. They're a lot tighter. And of course, they're still fully TIG welded. We do offer billet foot pegs too that are a little bit shorter. I'll grab that one real quick so you guys can check it out. All right, guys, so this came from our, I guess brought over from our big wheel kits. So this is a nice billet foot peg. If you don't want to run a peg that's basically a mile long, this one's plenty long for your boot. It is just a little bit more money because these are made on a 5-axis CNC mill. Got laser cut stainless teeth that are replaceable pivot, adjustable angle. So we've got a bolt on here, so as your pivot wears out or you get wear on your frame, on your stopper pad, you can adjust that bolt and get the angle of your foot peg adjusted. Now in the past, we would basically either remove material from there or add it to get the height back, because this is a wear item. It's basically just getting dirt crushed up against the frame inside the pivot. So always keep your foot pegs clean. We don't want them to wear out at the pivot point. But other than that, we are in process of finishing the triple clamps. So we're gonna take a walk over to the mill. I'm gonna show you guys where we're at on the triple clamps for this kit, and then this thing's basically getting boxed up and shipped out. So let's go check it out. All right, guys, so CRF450RL. We include the provision for the key switch. We've got the anti-vibe handlebar mounts. Really nice setup. A lot of guys like it. It's super clean once it's installed. And of course, you're gonna have a billet front hub on there. Heavy duty axle and all kinds of other components that go with it. All right, guys, on top of that, I've got more homework for you. I've got more picture books. You guys asked for it, you shall receive. Yeah, let's take a look at these picture books we've got going on here. Now, you don't have to stare at this video to see it. I'm just gonna show you a quick run through, but all of this stuff is actually available on bvctrikes.com. So there's a little tab under the product description. I'm basically gonna click it. This is gonna pop up. But just to give you guys a rundown, these are all the parts you're still gonna need to assemble your trike, because everything I just showed you is stuff I produce. Now, if you're gonna get an aftermarket axle, a carrier, hubs, brake pads, caliper, chain, wheels, tires, all that fun stuff, we've got OEM part numbers. We've got different sources for where you can get them. We like Rocky Mountain for some axles, RPM, and of course eBay if you want to get a China knockoff. That is your choice, guys. It depends on your budget. RPM axles are getting a little bit pricey. They're upwards of 600 bucks, if not more now. I think the Tusk ones are still about 400, maybe a little cheaper. Obviously, tire size is your choice. But when you get into like plastic, we've got everything for you guys now on the website. We've got the seat latch information, what fenders to run, what seat to run, what grab bar to run. We choose the 86, 87 TRX 250R grab bar. I like the long piece on the side. It actually adds strength to the subframe. Got all the grommet bushing info. This stuff is all very basic, and again, it's all available on our website. So we've worked really hard over the last few years to do stuff like this. This stuff takes hours, but it's all documented. It's done forever, and we're gonna do this for each trike kit. So as we ship these out, I'm gonna try to do more videos for you guys so you can see up close and personal. I'm also gonna insert clips of how these parts actually get installed. All right, there's a lot of parts, there's a lot of bits and bobs, as I've said, but it's really not that bad when you really break it down with the list. Now, if you guys wanna order just the components that I make, you can do that. It's quite a bit cheaper. A lot of guys have parts kicking around like fender, seat, plastic tires, axles, brakes, hubs, and all kinds of OEM hardware. If you don't have that stuff hanging around and you don't want to source it, you don't want to read my list, you don't want to look up part numbers, then we can get you guys the whole kit. It's just a lot of money. It's a lot of time for us to source all that stuff from our suppliers. The suppliers are generally a little bit slow. Sometimes we're backed up. So a lot of times we get this stuff shipped out to you as fast as we can, and then usually you're waiting on a fender or something crazy like that, or a seat. But that's the option, guys. So we're keeping these things rolling. We've been pumping a lot of trike kits out, And if you guys want more info, go over to bbctrikes.com, check it out. Again, check all the tabs on the product page. There's so much more info on there now than there used to be. And if you have any questions, hit us up, email us. You can schedule a phone call if you want to talk about what it takes to convert your bike into a trike. See you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Thank you for the support. All right, guys, so here we have a 2019 Honda CRF450RL. This is their new Enduro model they released in 19. Very similar to the 450R. Comes with all the emissions. Choked up pipe. But I mean, this thing, believe it or not, it's pretty torquey for what it is. A lot of guys are basically buying these bikes and modding the hell out of them in terms of the dirt bikes. I'm really curious to see what this one would do with a Vortex and a performance exhaust. But for street use, pretty much comes ready to go. Really just comes down to your local laws. I know Arizona is very lenient on ATVs being on the road. Some places in Colorado too. If you look up Brad Baker on YouTube, he actually has a couple videos of his Husky trike that he rips around on the road. See our billet triple clamps, integrated the key switch on there. Try to keep everything as OEM and clean as possible. So this is a 200X mirror front fender, fighting red. See how we put some grommets in there. So that's sitting down on some grommets. Made some new headlight mount brackets here. We have our billet hub with the 10-inch conversion installed on this machine. 10x5 front wheel. We do that because the brake is so large on this. I mean, the disc is literally the size of the wheel. Got the factory speedometer. Horn right there. Everything works like it should. Turn signals. We actually kept the dirt bike license plate mount, taillight and turn signals. We're able to actually just cut this down. This piece we completely left alone. We put a couple mounting tabs on our subframe. This is basically a mount and a wiring guard. See all the OEM wiring. And keep in mind, guys, there is a lot of wiring on this bike compared to the race bike. But we did our best to tidy everything up. Pop the seat off so you can check this out. We try real hard to keep these as clean as possible. Our seat mount, TRX latch. This is the stock battery from the bike. Mounted the solenoid and the fuse is here. Everything's easy to get to. Super easy to get to. Tip over sensor. Got to keep that in this upright position. Stock CDI, seat post relocator. You can see the trimming that we do on the fenders just to make room for all of this. So we honestly bring the fenders down closer to the subframe and tighten up the gap on the seat. So you can see all this that was trimmed up. See right there how we made this mesh up over here. Same thing on this side. Now, we have a lot of guys asking about thumb throttle conversions for dirt bikes. We are offering those kits. So just, yeah guys, this thing is super clean. I think it's going to be absolutely killer. Our folding foot pegs. We retain the factory pin and spring. Hit a rock or a stump, it's going to fold up, it's not going to break off. The only mod you have to do on this to get your exhaust to work, we just literally cut the mid pipe, we extended this about 1.5 inches and we angled it. But that just pulls your can out, allows it to line up with our subframe. We have a mount right there. Now this stock exhaust is very heavy. I do recommend getting a lighter aftermarket one, but for street use or keeping the OEM emissions on there, that's something that we basically are just going to leave on this. That's our swing arm, billet, caliper mount. We try to make everything as much as we can in-house. Intake, got the intake hanger bracket. For the guys that ride mud, we can do an air box around this, but this one does not have it. Yeah guys, let me know what you think of this bike. Another cool feature, these do come with a cooling fan on them.